like the logical traveling mates, Corborn and Kratz, to the Winter Games. Nothing, of course, is etched in stone, even in ice dance, we might add, as we saw at the ISU Grand Prix final, where Shea and Vic won and surprised everyone because there was some movement in dance. And it's nice to see that things are changing, not only internationally, but nationally as well.
Well, I think when you've got judges that know their stuff, they have the courage to judge as they see it. Inexperienced judges tend to judge in line, judge by protocol. Marie-France Dubreuil, Patrice Lauzon finished 6th at the Grand Prix final. It was a great step for them to make it there, but they said, hey, that's the last time we're going and finishing 6th. They're attacking their skating this year. This is a lovely new program, the music Madame Butterfly. The story, of course, an American officer who falls in love with a geisha. Last year, their lifts were athletic. This year, exquisite. But always, they're original. How close they're skating together, twisting within each other's arms. That adds a higher degree of difficulty for sure. They created and called a butterfly.
Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon, second-ranked dance team in Canada. could be on their way to Salt Lake City in the Winter Olympic Games, joining Bourne and Kratz. They've been to the World Championships the last 2 years. They are a top 10 team in the world. They are going to their first Olympics, you would think. Marie-France Dubreuil, Patrice Lauzon.
The more I see this program, the more I like it. When I talked about the difficulty in the footwork, you see here how Marie-France is turning within Patrice's arms, how close they stay together. They have to stay centered to each other. If they get off a little bit, they would spin out of control, and only by being perfectly on technically can they carry that speed throughout the footwork. Their lifts, innovative every year. They don't just take what works and use it again and again. They come up with new lifts that are in the character of the music. Their lifts, they take one position, they change them. Very interesting. Each movement is held and grows and continues to grow right to the end.
This team has grown, and if they can move a couple of spots up in the world at the World Championships, along with a good result from Bourne and Kratz, Canada could send 3 teams to the World next year.
I feel strongly about the 5/8 for this because I think there is so much hidden difficulty and originality in that program. The composition of that program was excellent.
That is one big stuffed animal. My goodness. Now they will wait for confirmation that they're going to the games.
Our next competitors represent British Columbia, Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe.
And their closest competition for second place would be this team. Veterans Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe, longtime 3rd-ranked dance team in Canada.
Seen a variety of styles in the ice dance event this year. Megan and Aaron skating to music by Supreme Beings of Leisure. They took a risk with this program this year, trying on a new look, and I'm not sure that the risk has paid off. It's a difficult piece of music. It's a piece of music that they have to carry. It doesn't really carry them, and I think the audience does not warm to it. Having said that, Their technique is very good. They've got excellent speed, and it is difficult. But you watch it, you don't get really into it.
Well, one of the hardest things at the beginning of a season is to pick out the music, pick your theme, pick your program. And you use that program all season, and you sell it, and you take it to the Nationals. That's on CTV tonight, People's Choice Awards. Marina Zueva on the left, coach, choreographer, mother of Fedor Andreev, who competed in the men's singles ranks yesterday.
Megan and Aaron have really tackled this program this year. They've torn it apart, rebuilt it. But as I said, I think the problem is the music, not what they're doing, and not the choreography. The look just didn't suit them, and you know, it's too bad for this team. They must feel sort of like the fourth American woman feels. It's not that they couldn't compete once they got to the Olympics or Worlds. They just can't get there.
Yeah, that's been an ongoing theme for them, and I give them a lot of credit for hanging in and continuing.
They're hanging in because they're improving, and as long as you're improving, you can ride on that alone. They will go to the Four Continents Championship, and if Shaylin and Victor can finish in the top 3 at the World Championships, Megan and Aaron will have the opportunity to join them at Worlds the following year.
Megan Wing, Aaron Lowe in third. Born in Kratz, 9-time dance champions of Canada. They now have won more titles than anyone else in Canadian ice dance, including my colleague Tracy Wilson. Shaylin-born Victor Kratz, 9-time dance champions, will head to Salt Lake City along with Marie-France Dubreuil and Patrice Lauzon. Megan Wing and Aaron Lowe once again in third place, and some of the other dancers that we didn't have time to take a look at tonight. For many of them, just getting to the Nationals was the big goal, and they made it. And here is Dave Randorf once again.
With Shaylin and Victor, this has been a fun week. A lot of sixes, 2 great skates in the OD and the free dance. Tell us about this week, Shaylin.
Very exciting. I mean, the crowd's been amazing. The judges, their response has been amazing. And mostly we're so happy with how we skated. And it's so encouraging before the Olympics to have these sixes, to have these marks. It'll make us train even harder before the big event.
But the big win, I think, no doubt, came last month at the Grand Prix final. With the Olympics so close, what did that win do for you guys, Victor?
I think more so than just for us, I think it was very important for the sport itself, because now it is actual sport. It really opens up nicely for the Olympics and the Worlds following that. And really, there's nobody's really in place to win anything. Everybody has an equal good chance. Like the top 5 teams, they're all very good, and they have an equal good chance at winning the Olympic Games. So it makes it more interesting for the sport. And for us, it's very encouraging because we have actually beat 2 world champions that were ahead of us the last 2 years. So that's very encouraging for us.
So now you're headed to Salt Lake City. Your physical preparation seems to be top-notch. Nobody can question that. Mentally, how will you prepare yourselves, and maybe based on what you've already learned from your previous games you've been to?
Mentally, we just need to keep it together and do what we love to do. But the physical side, I think we can even make better. You know, we're going to a higher altitude, so we need to do the training even better so that we're way ahead of our game. And on the mental side, we just need to skate with our hearts. Because, I mean, if you train it every day, then you know what you're doing. You just have to go out there, and then we'll have the North American fans behind us as well. So that's going to be a wonderful event, and we can't wait to get there.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Well, we'll know in a month if winning the Grand Prix final was an aberration or it was an omen for Salt Lake City. They were destined to win this championship hands down. Winning at the Canadians is much different than trying to win in Salt Lake City. What does this team have to do that? You've been to the Olympics before. You know what this is all about.
Well, I think what Shaylin talked about in the interview was the fact that it's all about the practice and the preparation, and that has been the secret to their success. Hard work. But after watching the free dance today, it was very smooth and polished. I think they need to up the degree of difficulty. They need to get a little bit more footwork into the first piece to drive that piece home, a little bit more speed into the slow part. If you want to be an Olympic champion or an Olympic medalist, you can't have any weaknesses. And I think if they continue doing what they're doing, performing as they have performed it, bring up the degree of difficulty just a little bit more, keep building to the Olympic Games, then good things will happen for them.
Yeah, those sixes must feel nice. Let's go back to Dave Randorf.
With Marie-France and Patrice, you just said to me that's your first 5-9, so it's a cause for celebration.
Yeah, it's exciting. We've been doing little changes. Actually, Monday before we came here, we changed our whole diagonal footstep sequence. It was a bit of a challenge to go out there today and pretend we've done that all season, but I think it worked really well.
Patrice, what's even more exciting is where you're going to be in a month, Salt Lake City. How's that feel?
Oh, it feels great. It's a dream come true. We waited our whole life to go to the Olympics. I can't wait to see how it really is over there. A lot of people told us how it's going to be and what can you expect. But to see it for myself is going to be, yeah,
it's different.
Can't wait to see all the other sports all together.
And you, Marie-France, your thoughts on being an Olympian now?
I don't know. I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm going to feel like the whole nation is behind me, and I'm going to skate for all of them.
Well, you can bet they will be. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you all. Coming up, a look at our future Olympians. Highlights of the junior championships from Hamilton in a moment.
What a week in Hamilton, Ontario at the Nationals. In pairs, Jacinthe Larivière and Lenny Faustino skated their way to their first Olympic Games. Their silver at Nationals was also a first. Jennifer Robinson added title number 5 to her resume, tying the legendary Karen Magnuson. Jennifer is also Salt Lake City bound. Canada's dance champions, Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz, dazzled the crowd and the judges, who awarded them a perfect score. And a farewell to Nationals for Elvis Stojko, who brought the house down this week. A perfect ending for a champion who's provided many great skating moments.
For us at center ice since 1988. He's going from taking the shots to calling the shots. He's going to become a suit now. We wish you the best. One of the best in the business. And even the crowd appreciates Alf Carboni's great work. Isn't that nice? It has been a week of farewells here in Hamilton, and now some of Alfie's shots, some of the lasting images from the 2002 Nationals. Signs everywhere. There were signs. This was the week of the Elvis Love-In, but people didn't come to say goodbye to the King. They came to say thank you. Golden Blade, Steel Heart, emotional week for Team Stojko, but through it all, Elvis showed what he's made of. The guy who was idolized by so many still had time to show up and cheer on all those who will follow in his enormous skate steps. Cheer on the young skaters, the young Elvises, the young Jeffrey Buttles, and you know you've arrived when you finish and you're congratulated by Elvis Stojko, all class, all the time. Never know what to expect at the Nationals, even when you win every year. You expect pretty good marks. Yeah, they're not bad. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, we'll take it. Oh, hang on. Wait a second. How about 9 sixes? 6. An Olympic year is so different, so special, so hard. Everyone dreams of skating at the games. You work, you visualize, you call in a prayer or two, and most of all, you believe. The most difficult part, though, is waiting for the news. Oh no, maybe we didn't make it. Oh my. Oh yes, we did. There are 250 different stories at the Nationals, and the nicest one of all this year belonged to Leslie Hawker. You didn't see her on TV, but you see her now. First trip to the Nationals, Not knowing what to expect, she had the skate of her life, couldn't feel her feet at the end of her performance. Oldest of 10 kids in her family, 2 jobs to fund her skating. She finished 9th. This was her Olympics.
Hi, Matt. Hi, everybody at home. Bethany, Matthew, Dale, Derek, Tim, Kevin, Rebecca, Rachel, Kayla, Jack Asher. That's only half the kids. Hi, Mom. If you're not there, I hope you're here. I don't know if you're here.
And she was here. The only person prouder than Leslie was her mom and, of course, her entire family. That is what it's like to skate at the Nationals. They are handing out the hardware now in Hamilton. He was the story of the week, and he has been the story of the last decade in Canadian skating. His last Nationals. And another Canadian title.
The next champions we will present today are the medalists in the senior men's event. In first place, and the 2002 men's champion of Canada from Central Ontario, Elvis Stojko.
The ovations are thank yous. They are also congratulations. They are also part of a send-off to his last Olympic Games. He has been a Canadian skating icon, Elvis Stojko. Emmanuel Sandou will go with him to Salt Lake City. We thank our crew this week. Dave Randorf, of course, doing the great work backstage. Tracy Wilson, Debbie Wilkes. Some final thoughts. You know, let's admit it, over the last decade, this skating world has been a little Elvis-centric, but he has given us reason to do that. He has been head and shoulders above anyone else when it comes to courage in this sport, determination, and how it pays off.
I don't know how anyone can doubt him, although there have been times we've talked, all of us, people in the press corps, talked about the Elvis-isms, how we keep looking for the white moment, he keeps raising the barrier. And yet we have doubted at times. Nonetheless, once again, he comes through.
Tracy, 6 months ago after the last World Championships, there were a lot of doubters, maybe even some self-doubt in that man's head. But right now, he is one of the challengers, serious challengers for the podium, if not for the gold medal in Salt Lake City.
If you can do a quad triple in combination, then you have a clear shot at a medal. It's interesting, Elvis Stojko going as the Canadian champion, Todd Eldridge going as an American champion at Salt Lake.
What's it with those 30-year-olds?
But you know the other good thing here, Emmanuel Sandou, yes, disappointed he did not defend his title. But I think for Emmanuel, going into his first Olympic Games, this is a good position for him to be in. He will be in Elvis's shadow, and that's where he can have the pressure off him somewhat. Of course, the focus will be in Canada's hopes on the Canadian champion, Elvis Stojko. Emmanuel Sandou can develop in Elvis's shadow, and this man, Jeffrey Buttle, what a huge talent.
Well, remember when Elvis just started skating and you come from the junior ranks and you finally get to the podium and you join a Kurt Browning or a Brian Orser. This is all about passing the torch in this country, and you go back to the 60s, and maybe the guy who started it all off was Donald Jackson.
The man who was the first skater ever to land a triple Lutz in competition. The year was 1962. Triples weren't even that common back in those days, and what did he do? Triple Lutz.
You know, he's still skating, too.
Oh, I know, it's disgusting. A feat that was not repeated for decades.
And isn't it interesting that Elvis has got a quad Lutz in practice? He just might try it at the Olympic Games. Donald Jackson landed it the first time he tried it in competition, but that was a triple Lutz. We may see Elvis try his quad Lutz.
You know, Elvis, he's a tough nut, this kid. We've watched him for a long time. He's grown into a great man, a great champion, but he also is a softie, if you know him. And this last couple of days, has touched him in a huge way.
He said to me, I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. At the end of his performance, he came out of the kiss and cry backstage. Of course, all the cameras are just hovering. I was luckily the first one to get to him. I was a complete and utter mess, and said to him, sort of haltingly made a comment, it appears that you are everything we've expected. And talk about a softie. He couldn't speak. His eyes kind of looked away, and he went, I'm going to miss this.
It's never easy to say goodbye to the thing you love, his sport of skating, and skating fans have fallen in love with this guy, Elvis Stojko.
He's always been so generous with his time. Nothing was ever too much. The fans love him.
He does have one more skate at the Nationals. It's an exhibition, and they will have a tribute, and we will have that for you. And that will be coming up 9 p.m. next Saturday on CTV. Don't miss it. Elvis's send-off before the Winter Olympics. We hope you enjoyed the week at another terrific Nationals. We wish our Olympians all the best on the road to Salt Lake City. For our entire crew, goodbye, everyone, from the 2002 Bank of Montreal Championships.